Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and soul. With energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy weekend to you. It is Friday. It is the kickoff to the weekend. I'm very excited about it because we have some conference championship basketball kicking off today and kick it off from some spots where I plan on making some money. Good morning to everybody, SBTV Nation. We are live on all the social media outlets, including Twitter at SBTV Nation. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys got to say. I'm by myself, but it's all good because I'm going to be interacting with all of you as we go here. And you know what? There's a very good possibility I may have a guest calling in here today, so we can have that conversation as it materializes. But let's talk. Listen, guys. Whew. Last night, I bet Wisconsin, and they were the last team of a money line parlay. I'm up 9 points with 3 minutes left, and they give up a 12-1 run. Oh, what a brutal way to lose. As a matter of fact, I actually fell asleep with 3-minute mark, and I woke up to check my account and check the money that was in it. Sure enough, there was no money in it as far as that bet was concerned, and I was like, whoa, what the hell happened? So I don't know what happened as far as the meltdown was concerned, but you know what, Wisconsin, that, my friends, is probably one of the worst beats of the year as far as college basketball is concerned. Now, this goes to show you what I was talking about. This goes to show you what I was talking about as far as double-digit underdogs are concerned. Because, well, first of all, Iowa obviously covered because they won the game outright and they were getting 12 points. But when Wisconsin was up 9, or when they were up, I'd say maybe 7 to 8 right before I fell asleep, you could tell that this team was playing more keep away than anything else. They weren't trying to put the foot on the jugular. They weren't trying to go up 10, 12, 14 points. It just wasn't happening. They just were trying to eat the clock and get the game done and won. And you know what? So that goes to show you what I've been talking about, what I've been preaching about as far as double-digit dogs, especially in hoop. Because at the end of the game, they don't care if they cover. What do they care? And the opposing team is not fouling the other team. They're trying to get buckets, and they're driving to the hoop, and they're trying to shoot threes. And, I mean, they're digging hard to get rebounds. I'm telling you, it's definitely something to take a look at, guys, because I know that the double-digit underdogs were barking last night big time. Good morning to everybody. Sir Mata is out there. We got a lot of people here. Joseph Del Rosario, what's up, buddy? Michael Mosca, Sin City Maverick, Terry Bassard, OJFB is in the house. Deeks Picks, what's up, buddy? How you doing out there, guys? It's the Friday Motivation here. This is our show, and we're ready to rock. So, getting back to college basketball, guys, I just want to talk real quick about what went down in the rest of it yesterday as SMU rolled along with Cincinnati. So I think those are probably going to be your two teams in the American final that are going to play each other. That's probably the way it's going to go. So, I mean, you're probably going to get pretty decent odds on both, considering the fact that I don't believe that there's a clear-cut favorite between those two teams. Maybe SMU is going to be slightly favored in that, but I don't know. Both of these teams are very good, and I got to be honest with you. I think both of these teams are going to get into the tournament, and I think both of these teams are a very good value as far as future odds are concerned. So, might want to put that in your pipe and smoke it for a second there. As far as the rest of the top 25, that's pretty much all that went down. As far as Division I is concerned, we know that Florida Gulf Coast got it done, and Minnesota was a great play yesterday that we plugged. Oh, Wisconsin, man. Unbelievable. Fast Eddie, what's up, buddy? I know it's Friday, and I know you're getting ready to send me some photos. Exactly. So, guys, real quick, it's the 3rd of March, and you all know we got this thing called March Madness. And what's starting to happen today is we got some more conference championships starting off, and there's 3 of them. The West Coast Conference, the WCC. We've got the Southern Conference starting off, and we have, the Horizon League along with the Colonial Athletic, okay? Now, a lot of junky plays, a lot of junky teams in these conferences, but what you're going to find is like the 10 seed versus the 7 and the 8 versus the 9. So what they do is they have the higher seeds play each other, process of elimination to get into their bracket. So what you got here is, obviously, you guys know the teams I've been following. I've been following Monmouth. I've been following Oakland. And we're even looking at Princeton, obviously, in the Ivy League, considering the fact that they are the best team, in my opinion. But when you go to the Horizon League, we're looking at Oakland plus 155 to win that conference championship. I can't see this team losing. I know that Green Bay is decent. I know Valpo is decent. But I just don't think Oakland is on fire right now, guys. You've been seeing them. They've been a covering machine. So we're going to get down with Oakland, I think, plus the 155 to win the Horizon. I think that's a real good bet for us to get involved in. Me anyway. You guys do whatever the hell you want. It's your money, but I'm just saying. Looking at the rest of it here, we've got the Southern Conference. I hate to even say this, but I'm going to probably get some Mercer Madness in that. 10-1 shot, whatever. You know this team is magic in March, so I think I'm going to get involved with them because, the rest of it, when you look at UNC Greensboro, you look at Furman, you look at Chattanooga's been crap. Mercer just beat them. And East Tennessee State, kind of like Mercer Madness at a 10-1 shot there. Moving over to the West Coast Conference, Gonzaga, minus 405. I don't think there's any surprise there. I think Gonzaga will get it done, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Princeton to win the Ivy, and I'm going to take Monmouth to win their respective conference. So I'm going to put all of those together in a parlay and make that work because that's where I'm at. And, fast. Jordy Best. What's up, buddy? That photo is pretty kick-ass, man. Guys, if you just go on to Twitter and you put in SBTV Nation with the @ symbol, you will not only see our tweets, but you're going to see everybody that tagged us. And you know what? You could see exactly what's coming at us, man. And there are some sick photos. Irvin's out there. What's up, buddy? Good morning to you. Super Mario, what's shaking, brother? I know you're out there working hard. And Jim Rohn is a douche, is out there rocking and rolling. So, guys, we got that. As far as the conference champions, I really feel pretty good about that. I don't know if I'm going to put Mercer in that parlay, but I might just do a small one with that. But Oakland, Monmouth, Princeton, I'm pretty high on. And Gonzaga, obviously. So we'll take a look at that. So as far as the teams to win the NCAA championship, okay? I'm looking at this pretty thoroughly, okay? I've been spending a lot of time, and I got to be honest with you, I got some pretty decent value, I think, at some of my futures I'm going to be plugging in. Now, obviously, guys, listen. We always preach, shop your lines, okay? Because you know what? You're going to see, if you like a team that's 30-1 somewhere on your book, you could look around and possibly get 75, 80s to 1, 90s to 1, stuff like that. No BS. That's real. So make sure you shop it. And Fast Eddie, that one in the pink is stupid. Love the female photos, guys. Thank you very much. So anyway, looking at this, I'm looking at one book here. Obviously, these are not the best lines. These are just the ones I have in front of me, okay? UCLA 650, North Carolina 675, Gonzaga 800, Kansas 800, Villanova 1,000. Those are all basically on a $100 bet. If I had to pick between the 5 teams, I think you're probably going to see at least 1 or 2 of these teams in the Final Four. I don't dislike Villanova at 10-1. You know what? Obviously, you guys know. I mean, they have the track record. They're the defending champions. They've been there, and they got a hell of a defense. So you know what? At a 10-1 shot, I just don't know who is going to knock this team off going into a Final Four, to be honest with you. I mean, if you look at the brackets and the region and stuff like that, they're probably going to be a number one seed. I think Villanova is a great value at 10-1 because if they make it to the championship, they're going to be favored unless they're playing UCLA or North Carolina again. But moving on to the second tier of the, I'd say maybe like the 6 to the 10, you got Duke, Kentucky, Oregon, all 12-1. Guys, I got to be honest with you, I feel nothing about any of those teams. So you know what? We're going to scratch those. And even at Louisville at 14-1, I'm not feeling them either. Then it gets a little interesting where you've got Louisville. We just talked about Louisville, but Arizona at 16-1. Florida at 22-1. Arizona is a possibility. I think they might be able to turn on the steam and turn, once we get through the pack and we see what they're made of. Obviously, they just lost to UCLA, but, if they could win the pack championship, I think they'll get a really high seed and have a pretty good pathway to get to maybe even a Final Four. So I don't dislike Arizona at a 16-1 shot. Two teams I do dislike, Florida, 22-1, and Purdue, 28-1. No chance for either team, guys. I'm sorry. Florida lost their center. Purdue does nothing for me. I'm good with each of these teams. Then you get over to West Virginia at 28-1. Now, obviously, we could probably find this at like 30, 35-1 at places. I'm going to be honest with you. West Virginia, when they turn it on and they play defense, this team is not bad. And this kid Carter's pretty good. I may take a stab at West Virginia at 28 to 30s-1, wherever I can find the best, obviously. So I may get involved with West Virginia. They're playing a tough game tonight with Iowa State, but I think they cruise. This is not a bad value, in my opinion. So I think I'm going to get down with them. Florida State, 30-1. Wisconsin, 33-1. We just saw what Wisconsin did to everybody last night. Guess what, guys? Wisconsin's not winning the whole thing, so we can forget that. Virginia, 35-1. I think they may, just because of that little slide, you might be able to get some decent value on them, but I just don't think I'm going to mess with them. Baylor, 40-1. I know a lot of people don't like this Baylor team, but at 40-1, might not be such a bad look. If you think about it, all depends on the seeding. What you should do is take a look at Lenardi's bracket. He's pretty good. He gets it pretty accurate. Take a look at where they are right now in that, and that's probably going to pave the way. I mean, if you can get them to an Elite Eight or a Final Four, then I believe that you'd be in the money. SMU, I talked about them when they were 120-1 last week, guys. They're down to 50-1. This team is going to get there, and I got to be honest with you. Cincinnati and the Americans also a good bet at 66-1. Getting over, you got Butler 66-1. I think that's a good one, considering the fact that Butler, I mean, dude, listen, they went into Villanova and won, guys. This team is not that bad. Something to take a look at. You got Maryland 75-1. I just don't think. I think Maryland gets an early exit. Notre Dame 80-1. I think that is a good one. Maybe we could find it even higher than that. I know I'm talking about a lot of different teams. Obviously, we're going to narrow this. These are just the interesting ones, in my opinion. So if you guys have any opinions here whatsoever, please let me know. But that's what I'm looking at right now. Wichita State. Creighton, Iowa State, Miami, Michigan State, no, not feeling them. Oklahoma State, no. Now we're getting into the 100-1 or better, okay? But I am going to take Minnesota at 125-1. Guys, you saw what they did last night. This team is on a roll, and I'm feeling this team big time. And they went in and pissed all over Maryland. You know what? Minnesota at 125-1. I may put a large wager on that. Guys might think I'm crazy, but I may consider doing a large wager, like 1,000 or more. No BS. I'll show you the ticket because I'm considering doing it. Let's see. St. Mary's, South Carolina, USC, no. Northwestern, no. TCU, no. Valpo, no. Dayton, Virginia Tech. Let's have a conversation about them at 300-1, guys. This team is not bad at all. This team knows how to win. Team's in a very tough conference, and I believe they're substantially undervalued at 300-1. Now, obviously, these teams got to get in the tournament, but think about it. Just put that in your brain for a second. All they got to do is win a couple of games, and you're in the money. That's it. After that, we got Xavier, California, Arizona State, UConn now, Indiana, Kansas State, Marquette, Mississippi State, NC State. They're all 500 to 1s or better, guys. And you know what? I just don't know if these teams are going to get in. I can tell you this much, though. I would love to see Wake Forest in there at 500 to 1. Maybe we'll take a little shot with them. Going down, you got Utah 750 to 1, and then it goes thousands to 1 or better. So now you're looking at basically conference champions. So you got to really think about who you feel is going to be the conference champion and put that into your future plays, if that's what you're going to end up doing. But that's where I'm at, guys. I think I got a lot of good stuff here. I mean, damn, man, that Minnesota at 125 to 1 is dope. That's a great play. Them and Virginia Tech, I really like those two, especially being in that conference. I mean, you're going to get a lot of these teams in that conference. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm going to pull up the standings right now. I'm just going to tell you that, you know, when you look at it, when you look at this ACC, Virginia Tech, guys, they've got 21 wins, and they have 10 wins in conference play. I'm just saying, listen, don't let me sell you on anything. You do whatever you want. It's your money. This is what I'm doing. I don't get paid for this stuff. I'm not a handicapper. In case you're new to the show, you know that if you haven't been listening to us for years and years and years. But that's the way it is, man. I'm taking them. And I'm also going to probably – I feel that Wake Forest can win a couple of games or maybe 1 or 2 games in the ACC. I may take a shot with them. But I think Va Tech at 300 to 1 is sick. I think it's a dope play, to be honest with you. And looking at the rest of it here, going over to the Big Ten, guys. I mean, these Power 5 conferences, they're going to have a lot of teams in. Okay, so that's something to take a look at. I mean, if you go to the Big Ten right now, Maryland has 23 wins, Purdue 24, Minnesota 23 wins. They're in, guys. Wisconsin's in at 22, Northwestern's in at 21. Then you got Michigan with 19 wins. Illinois with 18 wins, Michigan State with 18 wins. And you can't forget about Iowa, believe it or not, with those couple of wins that they just had, going into Wisconsin and going into Maryland. Think about that for a second. This team wasn't even on the list. We might have to do it. We may have to find Iowa, believe it. And it pains me. It absolutely pains me to say that, but you know what? Hey, it is what it is, man. So that's where I'm at, guys. That's where I'm at as far as my futures are concerned. It really helps me out when I could just sit here and look at this stuff and kind of decipher through it, and I got to shop my line. So I got my assistant in here. What I think I'm going to have her do is print them all out and highlight all the best ones. That'll be a good way for her to make some money today. All right, guys. So we're going to back this thing up here. We're going to get into what's going on tonight, because I think we need to have a conversation about college basketball and just see what's on the horizon today at 5 o'clock. So listen, it starts at 5, all right? And what's going to end up happening is something you guys got to realize is that going into next week, we're going to have a lot of games during the days. So don't forget that when you're putting your plays in, okay? Now, we got the Princeton Tigers playing at 5 o'clock. I don't think that this team is going to lose, to be honest with you. This team is absolutely on fire. They got 2 games left before the conference tournament, and they're playing at 5:30. They're playing Harvard, and they're playing Dartmouth. So I think what I may do, if I'm going to take Princeton as far as the NCAA tournament, what I may do is I may just do an open parlay, give them 6 games in the tournament, give them however many games in the Ivy, and give them their last 2 games. I think they win them all, to be honest with you. It's going up to the big dance, obviously. I think they win these 2 games, and then they win their conference tournament. So I think I'm going to do a parlay and just keep rolling them over and over in an open one. So I like this Princeton team. They are rocking and rolling this year, man, and this is the Yale of last year. So I'm going to get involved with Princeton tonight. I think I'm going to take them on a money line. Just not interested in giving the 7 points because Harvard is not that bad. Harvard's an 18-7 team, guys. So something to take a look at. And they have won 6 in a row, where Princeton, guys, I don't know if you realize this, one of the hottest teams in college basketball, if not the hottest team, winners of 15 straight. So we're going to get involved with them. Going forward here, just looking at the rest of it, Yale is playing today. I know they punched me in the face once this year pretty bad. But they're hosting probably the worst team in Ivy, being Cornell. Big Red is brutal, guys. We saw them last year, and I mean, this team is just, they're a mess. They turn the ball over. They can't shoot. They can't defend. They've lost 3 in a row. I think I'm going to get Yale tonight and put that with Princeton. Moving on to the rest of it here. Let me just scroll all the way down. There's a big game right now in the Big 12. You got the Iowa State Cyclones going into West Virginia. And you know what? You got to wonder what the motivation is right now for West Virginia. Considering the fact that they're already going to be in the tournament, no matter what happens, where Iowa State, winners of 6 straight, could be on the outside looking in. I honestly feel that Iowa State needs this game more, so I'm going to stay away from it. The ideal thing everybody would say is, West Virginia's going to roll. But for me, I'm going to fall back from that. Moving on to the rest of it here. Monmouth is playing a 10-22 Niagara Purple Eagles team. There's not even a line yet. Monmouth is 16 in a row they've won, guys. 26-5 on the year. They started 10-5 and won 16 straight. Monmouth is probably a play, but the problem is the line is going to be like 20. I guarantee it. Minimum. Maybe even more. Maybe like 24. That's what I can see. So I am not getting involved in that, to be honest with you. So that's it as far as college basketball. Not a lot. You know what? Listen, I'm going to put it out there like this. The teams that are in already have nothing to play for besides seeding in the tournament. But you know what? They still have their conference tournament. They're probably going to start, I'd say, taking their foot off the gas just a touch. I mean, put your brain in theirs for a minute. Put your feet in their shoes. You got a couple of games left. You have your conference tournament. You already basically sealed your ticket to the big dance. What reason do you have to go out there and bust your ass? You don't. Because if you lose the game, whatever, we'll get the next one. Or you know what? Well, let's get ready for the conference tournament. Think about it. It's all psychological, man. So, and then you got teams that they're playing that absolutely, positively need to win. Ugly situation, guys. Not getting involved in it. So, moving over to the NBA, let's just take a look real quick and see what we got. I already see that there's a pretty bad mismatch going on here as the Utah Jazz are hosting the Brooklyn Nets. And the Brooklyn Nets, guys, 3 wins, 25 losses on the road. Brutal. I would expect the Utah Jazz to win. You know how I feel about double digits, though. Maybe take the dog on the points, but Utah wins the game. Then you got Cleveland going into Atlanta tonight. Cleveland coming off the loss. I think my boy shines tonight. It's probably a great spot for Cleveland, guys. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to get Cleveland down. I'm going to put Cleveland, Princeton, Yale. And if I put those 3 together, you're probably looking at maybe like a plus 150, plus 160, something like that. I think that's a great spot to get down with. Don't expect Cleveland to be a cakewalk because you know Atlanta's going to come out to play. But considering the depth that Cleveland has now, the only thing that could challenge Cleveland tonight, I'm going to tell you, is you know how when a new player comes into the roster and he's got to get acclimated with the system, being Deron Williams, sometimes they do a lot of experimental stuff. So if you're thinking about that, hopefully, they just get back to their game and win tonight. So I'm betting on it that they are going to, guys. So I'm going to take Cleveland and mix it with Princeton and Yale. That's where I'm at. All right? Fast Eddie, the one on the car. Wow. Sick. We're making sports betting great again, guys. That's it. So you know what? Hey, listen, guys. Half-hour show for me, okay? As you know, I've got a business going. I go 7 days a week, full throttle. I probably put in 75 to 80 hours a week, no BS. And I got to run, okay? I got a lot of things to do. But I plan on making some money tonight. And we're looking forward to getting down with conference championships. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll have the Dream. We'll have the Evil Genius. And we'll be rocking and rolling and going from there. And I'd just like to thank you all that support us, man. You know, it feels like this nice community of people, men and women. We got a lot of great people that do it. And you know what? That tune in each and every day and support us, man. And you know what? From the bottom of my heart, I really thank you guys a lot, man. It's awesome. It's really awesome. We just got to grow this thing and get it going to a whole nother level. So looking very much forward to it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I am Rob the Mad Hatter. I am planning on making some money with college basketball tonight, this weekend, and the next couple of weeks as March Madness becomes a moneymaker. Guys, we love you to death. It's Friday. Go grab the world by the balls and get that money. Let's go.